There was a guy in my past gym, let's call him Joe for now. Joe started training and bulking. He enjoyed eating a lot and he actually made very good gains from it. He was one of the strongest and biggest guys in the gym. The problem is eventually he went up to 240 pounds. Originally when he started training he only cared about bodybuilding, but eventually he started going down the powerlifting path. He wanted to cut and get lean, but he always just lost a bunch of muscle and then always gained all of the weight back. And the reason why he lost all the muscle was also because he didn't really want to go through the process of cutting, so he always tried to do it very fast and aggressive. Though the biggest mistake he made and the reason why he never got lean was because he always stopped his diet before that. He felt small and he saw his numbers going down and he always just quit. This is why he still weighs 240 pounds to this day. And just to be clear, this video is not for the skinny guys and the hard gainers. This is more for the bloat lords who don't want to cut because they're too afraid that they don't have enough muscle. So if you're skinny, you need to bulk. So you don't want to end up like Joe, right? Well, here's 6 reasons why you should cut. The first one is pretty obvious. Being fat is unhealthy. It's supported by research that men shouldn't go above 20%, and for women I think it's like 33% body fat. Going above that is considered unhealthy and there's no point in doing it. It's best for your heart, and at the end of the day the most important muscle is the heart. It doesn't matter if you're jacked if you're only living for 30 years. The second reason is another reason why you shouldn't go above 20% body fat, and the reason is it's suboptimal for gains. When you're bulking, you're gaining weight. Part of the way you're gaining is muscle and another part of it is fat. So when you're gaining, there's basically a ratio of fat to muscle. Now, the leaner you are, the more this ratio is going to be in your favor. And obviously, the fatter you are, the more fat you will gain compared to muscle. So this means if I'm 12% body fat and I gain 1 pound, more of that will be muscle than if I would have been 20% body fat. And less will be fat. Third reason, the fatter you get, the longer you will have to cut. The problem with this is being in a deficit is not very optimal for muscle, and also it's pretty much best for your body. You want to keep your cut as short as possible. Now that doesn't mean that a 0-day cut is going to be better. It just means that if you got fat as fuck and did a 6-month cut, instead of not getting that fat and doing only a 3-month cut, the last one is going to be a better option. This is because of a few reasons. One is the longer your cut is, the tougher it is going to become mentally, and the more likely you are to quit your diet before reaching your goals. It's also best for your hormones, and generally you shouldn't lose muscle, but you will lose some strength probably. And the longer your cut is, the more strength you will lose, and it becomes harder to hold on to muscle mass. Fourth reason, you need to make your diet clean again. What I discovered back then when I was doing If It Fits Your Macros is that the longer I was bulking, the more junk I ate. Now that is also a fault of If It Fits Your Macros, and that's partly why I don't recommend it and I don't do it anymore either. But even if you're not doing If It Fits Your Macros and you're trying to follow a stricter type of diet, you're probably not going to be as strict when you're bulking. You will probably think more often that a slice of cake is not that big of a deal, and cutting usually cleans up people's diet because then they don't have the room to eat shit. Although if you're doing If It Fits Your Macros style dieting, is still possible. I had a friend who, when he was dieting, he was eating like less than 2,000 calories, and for half of his calories he would only eat chicken, protein powder and skyr. If you don't know what that is, it's like a yogurt and it's very high in protein and low in like everything else basically. And for the rest of his calories he would eat just like Snickers and shit. So that's why I don't recommend If It Fits Your Macros to most people, because they would just eat shit. Fifth reason, better work capacity. Since you will become leaner and therefore not as heavy, your work capacity is going to get better. You will get fit again, or at least fitter than you were, and that means you will be able to do more work, and that means more gains. And for the last reason, you will look better. At the end of the day, that's why you're doing this whole thing, aren't you? Get over the I'm not muscular enough yet to cut down lie and start cutting. Usually that's just coming from body dysmorphia and being too lazy to cut. And also, you're the only one who's noticing. Nobody gives a shit. I know you're saying you're not lifting for other people, but partly you are probably. Nobody knows shit about bodybuilding or physiques or anything. The fitness industry is a very small niche and not a lot of people are in it. And since you're in it, you have this fucked up body image, but most people don't have that. You see all these huge and lean people all the time who are probably on steroids, and you're not like them, and you will never be like them probably, but most people don't think like that. Literally everybody who's not lifting will think that you look better when you're lean than when you're bulked up and bigger. They will see somebody who's lean as more muscular. If you're lifting for girls, and honestly most people started lifting for the opposite sex, you might not be doing it right now for that, but you probably started because of that. Nobody likes a fucking dad bod, that's just a lie. Just so you know how normal people versus people in the fitness industry see a physique. I'll tell you a story. I was talking to a person. I showed this person 2 pictures of my physique. One at the end of a walk and the other at the end of the cut. Shut the I told her it's a before after picture, and she literally said that she thought that the shredded picture was more muscular and bigger. And it wasn't, I was looking like a stick. I am still pretty much looking like a stick. And this shows that for the average person, leaner means more muscular. Also, probably even some lifters will think that you look better lean. Last summer when I got pretty lean, my friends started telling me, who were also lifting and they were way bigger than me, that now I'm starting to look way better and I'm looking really good. I'm not saying this to brag, by the way, it's just that simply people think you look better when you're lean, even if you feel small. These were the 6 reasons why you should cut, and one of the reasons was work capacity. I made a video on that, so if you don't know much about it, click here to watch that.